Hey everyone, and welcome back to Uppercut Screen. If you're like me, you grew up with a certain farm boy who stared at twin suns dreaming of adventure. But if you're really like me, you also grew up with a different voice. A voice that could make you cackle 1 second and genuinely creep you out the next. We're talking about Mark Hamill. Yeah, I know, Luke Skywalker. But for us, for DC fans, he's something more. He's the definitive, the ultimate, the absolute voice of the Joker.
Because now, there's a teeny little bit of me in you too, Bat.
And trust me, it's not just about the laugh. This isn't your granddad's Joker. This isn't even Jack Nicholson's Joker, as legendary as that was. This is our Joker, the one who truly sounds like chaos incarnate. Today, we're not just scratching the surface, we're digging deep into how a hero became the voice of pure, unadulterated villainy. So, before he was staring at binary sunsets, Mark Richard Hamill was born way back on September 25, 1951, in Oakland, California. Think about that for a second. He's a Libra. Maybe that explains his amazing balance between light and dark, hero and villain. His dad was a Navy captain, which meant the Hamill family, and there were 7 kids, imagine that chaos, moved around a lot, like a lot. Japan, Virginia, talk about a globe-trotting childhood. He eventually landed at James W. Robinson Secondary School in Virginia, and yeah, you guessed it, he was already into drama. No surprise there. Then it was off to Los Angeles City College, majoring in drama because, well, that's what he was destined for. But here's the cool part. He dipped out before graduating. Why? Because the acting bug hit him hard, and he wanted to get straight into it. No time for degrees when destiny calls, right? Then came 1977. He's 27, relatively unknown, and suddenly he's Luke freaking Skywalker. Star Wars drops, and boom, instant global superstar. Overnight, he went from "Who's that guy?" to "OMG, it's Luke Skywalker." The galaxy had a new hope, and Mark Hamill was it. But here's the twist. That massive success, it became a gilded cage. He was Luke, that was it. He was typecast harder than anyone in Hollywood. You know, the clean-cut, earnest hero, great for toys, maybe not so great for an actor wanting to stretch his wings. And then, in 1979, something happens that changes everything. A serious car accident. Fractured nose, cheekbone, it was gnarly. His face was reconstructed, and while he still looked like Mark Hamill, there was a subtle shift. The super boyish look was slightly altered. And you know what? He's actually said that the accident, while terrible, helped him because it pushed him to take on darker, more complex roles. It was like the universe saying, "Okay, Luke, time to evolve." This, my friends, is where it gets really good. This is where the legend is forged for us, the DC faithful. Mark Hamill's pivot to voice acting wasn't just a career move, it was a freaking renaissance. It was him saying, "You think I'm just Luke? Hold my blue milk." So, the creators of Batman the Animated Series, absolute legends Bruce Timm and Eric Radonsky, are looking for a voice for the Joker. And they're smart. They know they can't just rehash Cesar Romero's 60s take or Jack Nicholson's fantastic but very specific version. They want something new, something that could charm you before tearing your throat out. By the way, if you're enjoying this deep dive into one of the greatest voices of our time, do us a huge favor and hit that subscribe button for Uppercut Screen. Seriously, it helps us out a ton. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so you never miss out on our next video. Okay, back to the chaos.
Why aren't you laughing?
Batman, you're going to melt just like a grilled cheese sandwich.
Mark Hamill, a lifelong comic book nerd just like us, he shows up for the audition, and instead of just doing a bad guy voice, he gets it. He doesn't see the Joker as a guy who finds humor in things, he sees him as the joke itself, a force of nature, pure chaos. He crafted this theatrical, melodic, almost sing-song voice. And that laugh, oh, that laugh, it's infectious, it's hilarious. And then, in the blink of an eye, it turns absolutely blood-curdling.
It'd be funny if it weren't so pathetic. No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.
He gets the job, obviously. And his performance in BTAS? Revolutionary. He brought this Shakespearean depth to the Joker. He made him a hilarious showman, but you never forgot that he was a genuine psychopath underneath. For so many of us, this is the Joker, the gold standard, the one all others are measured against. He didn't just voice a character, he defined him. And it didn't stop there. Hamill's Joker just kept evolving, especially in the Batman Arkham video game series.
For it's true, you are my destiny. When you hold my hand, I understand the magic.
In Arkham Asylum, it was a masterclass. In Arkham City, the Joker is dying, and Hamill brings this tragic vulnerability and raw rage to the character. It was so powerful, he actually said this would be his final performance. He came back for Arkham Knight, not in the way we expected, but as this haunting, indelible voice inside Batman's head. It just showed you, the Joker never truly leaves. He's retired from the role so many times, but then, like the true agent of chaos he voices, he keeps popping back up. Because, let's be real, the role is never far from his heart, and our ears are always ready. So what are the secret ingredients? 1, the laugh. It's an instrument all its own. 2, the musicality. He sings, he whispers, he shrieks. He makes threats sound like a nursery rhyme. 3, the unpredictability. His vocal delivery keeps you constantly off balance, always guessing, always on edge. It's brilliant. While the Joker is his crown jewel, don't sleep on his other voice work. The man is a powerhouse. He was the trickster in The Flash, the menacing Fire Lord Ozai in Avatar: The Last Airbender, the wise Yeti Skips in Regular Show, and even Hobgoblin in the 90s Spider-Man series. The dude's resume is thicker than a comic book long box. So, who is the guy behind all these iconic voices? He's been married to his wife Marilu since 1978. Despite his fame, he's incredibly down-to-earth and fan-friendly, especially on social media. And get this, he's credited with the first known use of "May the 4th be with you" in a 1979 interview. Mark Hamill's journey is truly a masterclass in reinvention. He could have just ridden the Star Wars wave forever, but instead, he created what is arguably the most iconic villainous voice in history. For us, the DC fans, he's not Luke Skywalker doing a voice. No, he is the Joker. He didn't just read lines, he poured chaotic life into a character, creating a legacy that will continue to laugh maniacally for decades to come. So what's your favorite Mark Hamill Joker moment? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching Uppercut Screen, and I'll catch you next time. Stay chaotic.
Well, that was fun. Who's for Chinese?